one, I spent 3 years in the bag. Then I found a good one, and we made a family. We both worked good full-time jobs and lived beneath our means. On top of mortgage, the daycare bills and food. It seems like this dream I had, it ain't doing me no good. 'Cause it ain't right how I fight, scrimp and scrape and struggle to survive. Dollars down, price goes up, even good money ain't good enough. I work too hard to be this broke. I'm gaining debt and I'm losing hope. It ain't right, it ain't right, it ain't right. The prices go up and the wages stay the same. Lord, I'm working too damn hard and I'm slowly losing faith. 60-hour work weeks, I'm doing double overtime. I do what I have to do for the needs of me and mine. The cost of insurance, and I'm taxed on every dime. It costs so much just to stay alive, I can't even afford to die. But I stay hopeful, 'cause joy is all around. And grace and love, they bring me peace and comfort in my now. 'Cause it ain't right how I fight, scrimp and scrape and struggle to survive. Dollars down, price goes up, even good money ain't good enough. I work too hard to be this broke. I'm gaining debt and I'm losing hope. It ain't right, it ain't right, it ain't right. It ain't right how I fight, scrimp and scrape and struggle to survive. Dollars down, price goes up, even good money ain't good enough. I work too hard to be this broke. I'm gaining debt and I'm losing hope. It ain't right, it ain't right, it ain't right.
The synchronicities here are incredible. Bless you. The synchronicities here, just that quote, just Jared's song, and now I'm going to tell you, I want to, and the ask for prayer for those who are hungry, and now I'm going to tell you, I want to talk to you about money. Oh, nobody left. All right. No, what I really want to talk about is our relationship to money. Because I pulled this book off my shelf by Lynn Twist called The Soul of Money. And it's important. The message she gives us here is very important. I want to read how she starts off chapter 1 with this quote from Mark Kinney. And Mark Kinney is a CPA, and he advises people who quickly come into a lot of money, like a lottery winner, or somebody sells a business and they have this big chunk of money. And here's his quote. He said, "Money is like an iron ring we put through our nose. It is now leading us around wherever it wants. We just forgot that we are the ones who designed it." Right? We are the ones who designed it. You know, money is made up. You all know this. It has no intrinsic value. It used to be tied to the gold standard. It's not tied to that anymore. It's paper and ink. We give it the value. We decide how much it's worth. We did that. We chose that. And we use it as a tool to exchange goods and services. That's what money is. That's what money is. Do you agree with that? Yeah, that's what it is. And then at the same time we say, well, there's 3 things you never talk about. Religion, politics, and money. Oh my gosh, too risky. Don't want to talk about money. Money's a secret. Don't want anybody to know how much I make, how much I give, where I get my clothes. How much? Nobody wants to talk about that. We want to keep it a secret. Like, what's the secret? Sometimes there's money put in the donation box and it's all crumbled up and real small. I'm like, why is he doing that? You want nobody to know you put 20 bucks in there? I mean, whatever it is, we think it's too risky to talk about. We don't want anybody to know how much money we have. And then we find ourselves judging each other exactly according to money. We judge each other's wealth and success based on money. How do we do that? Where you live, if you own your house, if you rent your house, if you own 2 houses. What kind of car do you drive? What do your clothes look like? What latest shoes are you wearing? Where do you vacation? All those things. We look at somebody and we think we know them and we know their success based on what they look like, when we may have no evidence at all about it. None at all. But that's what we do. We all do it. I do it. You do it. Sometimes I congratulate myself for not judging a person who is experiencing homelessness, but the next intersection, if I see a really well-dressed man with a tie and a suit, I judge him for being rich. Have you ever done that? And why he's not doing more about the guy on the other corner who doesn't have a lot. It's the same. It's the same, judging each other based on wealth and their apparent success. All around money. Money. That's it. It's why when someone is graduating from high school, we want to demand what college they're going to, instead of what trade school they might attend. All right? Because we're going to judge them based on what the choice they make. We're terrible at it. We've learned it and we're terrible at it. We judge. Let me read you this. I have too many tags in here. Well, maybe not. Lynn Twist says, money itself isn't the problem. Money itself isn't bad or good. It doesn't have power or not have power. It's our interpretation of money and our interaction with it where the real mischief is, and where we find the real opportunity for self-discovery and personal transformation. See, that's what this is about here, personal transformation. In a world that seems to revolve around money, it is vital that we deepen our relationship with our soul and bring it to bear on our relationship with money. That's what this is about. Is to bring our soul, the depth of us, the truth of what we are, the soul of us, and to bring that into alignment and relationship with the money thing. Because the money's the made up thing. This is the real thing. The soul of me, the groundedness of me. That's what she's talking about. So for the next few weeks, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to do a short series here for the next few weeks. Just suspend your judgment and your ideas about money and just open up some space. You know, release that tension maybe that you felt when I first said the word money. And just let it go. I'm not going to ask you to give money. I'm not going to beg you to give money. I'm not going to say you should be giving money. I'm saying open up some space so that you can evaluate and understand your relationship with money so that you might align it and I might realign it with my soul. Okay? Doesn't that sound exciting? Transformational. Transformational. That's what Lynn Twist did. Lynn is not a CPA. She has never taken a financial course in her life. She works as a fundraiser for a nonprofit called the Hunger Project. That's what she did. And this is where she learned about herself and her relationship with money. And she found that no matter which group of people she was talking to, whether it was the millionaires at some fancy fundraiser for the Hunger Project, or whether it was in an African nation talking to the people receiving the benefit of that their view of money was the same, was very similar, And here's what else I want you to read right here. 2, 3. I have, like I said, lots of notes here because she's so succinct and she says this so easily. When she started realizing how money led she and her husband and her family and her life, and she started doing this work to understand their relationship with money, here's what happened. She said, we realized that our previous scramble to accumulate and upgrade everything about ourselves and our life was another kind of hunger. And we addressed it head on by realizing that what really we hungered for was to have lives of meaning. We hungered to make a difference. And once we began to align our money decisions in relationship, we brought about a change in relationship to money. Once we began to align our money decisions with these deeper core values and our highest commitments, we experienced a dramatic shift. Not only in what we did with our money, but also how we felt about money, about our life, and about ourselves. Eventually, we came to know ourselves not for what we had owned, but for what we gave. And not for what we accumulated, but for what we allocated. Money became more and more a way to express the longing and fulfillment of the soul. And so this isn't really about the soul of money. It's about my soul and my relationship with money. Because money doesn't really have a soul. I'm the one with the soul. I'm the one with a deepness about me, with a spiritual aspect to me. And how I relate to money makes a difference. It makes a difference. Money became more and more a way to express the longing and fulfillment of my soul. What about that? Have you ever thought about money that way? Maybe not. So let's start from where we are. Jared's song Perfectly is a great segue into this, wasn't it? Because that's that idea that he sang about, that experience that we have, that belief system that we have. We start from where we are. And Lynn says that we are swimming in conversations all the time of scarcity. Scarcity all of the time. The things we learn, the little statements. She talks about her grandmother who used to tell the grandkids, she and her sisters, marry the money and love will follow. How about that? Do that first. And then the love thing, it'll catch up. Don't worry. Do that first. How about this one? Don't spend the principal. If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it, right? See, we know that. Scarcity mentality. It's not polite to talk about money. Like I said, we don't even want to talk about it. We engage with money every single day. If you drove here, you engaged with money because you put gas in your tank, you engaged with money. We engage with money every single day, and yet we want to do this about it, right? She says that, here's some other examples. When she started working as a fundraiser for the Hunger Project, she decided that she should not expect to be able to make a living doing it. Because after all, it was a nonprofit. And after all, we didn't have a lot of money. There's an expectation. I think that there's a thing called the starving artists. If you're an artist, you can't expect to make a living doing that, right? That's ingrained in us. Ministers fall under the same category. How could you ever make a living? Except for the big, Not all ministers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't have a private jet or a large mansion or staff. Other than all the volunteers that work here, that's the staff. Thank you very much for that. But what's your expectation about being able to make a living for yourself? All right? She says this, or maybe you've worked for money most of your life, but you have been reluctant to ask for a well-deserved raise. Or stayed at a dead-end job rather than investing time and energy in searching for a new one. Or getting training for a new kind of work. Maybe you enjoy an inheritance and feel entitled to family wealth, or maybe you feel guilty about it. Maybe you avoid balancing your checkbook or paying your bills because the black and white reality of those numbers says something you don't want to hear. And maybe you're afraid to assert yourself about money in a relationship because you fear the repercussions. Maybe your financial fears keep you from asserting yourself at all. She said most of our life sentences, which she calls these life sentences, around money are the product of limiting language of scarcity in our culture. We all fall under that. We all have had the experience of that. And like I said, whether she is talking to someone who we would consider poor, meaning not having access to a lot of financial security, or with lots of money, it's the same thing. These are the same things that come up in people's lives. That's scarcity. We've accepted these things. First of all, we've created them. Then we believe them, and then we live them. That's what we do. We created them, we believe them, and then we live them. And we don't question them, because we're all pretty much on the same page. That's the myth of it. It's a myth. It's a story we made up, and now we all believe in, and so we live that. God. Well, the great news is, since we made it up, we can believe something different. We don't have to stay in that place of scarcity. We don't have to. We can choose what to believe about money. We can choose. I can choose what I believe about money. Say that with me. I can choose what I believe about money. Yeah. Do you? Y'all are looking like maybe that's true for you. Like I have a choice. I have a choice. And like I said, so the soul is me, not the soul in money. I mean, that's the name of the book, but the soul in me. So she talks about 3 myths. 3 myths about money. A myth, like I said, is an invented story. It's not the truth. It's something we've all believed in, but it's not necessarily the truth. And I'm saying I can change that, because if we created it, we can change it. And so the first myth about money is that there's not enough. Anybody ever buy into that one? Like there's not enough. There's not enough money. There's not enough money to go around. There'll never be enough money. There's just not enough money. Not enough. Here's what she says. Somewhere here. And this idea of not enough starts the minute we wake up in the morning. This idea of not enough, this overarching idea. She says, for me and many of us, our first waking thought of the day is, coffee. I didn't get enough sleep. Coffee? That's a good one. The next one is, I don't have enough time. Whether it's true or not, that thought of not enough occurs in a lot of us automatically before we even think to question or examine it. We spend most of the hours and the days of our lives hearing, explaining, complaining, or worrying about we don't have enough. Maybe not every hour for you, but think about it. What is that strain in your life of not enough? Not enough. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough rest. We don't do enough exercise. We don't have enough work. We don't have enough profits. We don't have enough power. We don't have enough wilderness. We don't have enough weekends. And of course, we don't have enough money. We're not thin enough. We're not smart enough. We're not pretty enough, or fit enough, or educated, or successful enough, or rich enough ever. Before we even sit up in bed, before our feet touch the floor, we're already inadequate. Already behind, already losing, already lacking something. And by the time we go to bed at night, our minds are racing with a litany of what we didn't get to or didn't get done that day. And we go to sleep burdened by the thought and wake up to that reverie of lack. This mantra of not enough carries the day and becomes a kind of default setting for everything, including money. Now, you might say, Paul, I don't worry about all those things. Good. You made some progress. But what is the thread of not enough in your life? Maybe it's the thread of other people not having enough. All right? There is that thread in our lives because of this overarching thing. Or I'll have enough when? Not until I have enough will I be able to do this. We put limits on ourselves. Right? We put those limits on ourselves. Not enough. Not enough. Chronic not enoughness. That's the condition. Chronic not enough. We believe, and you know what happens when we believe there's not enough? We get scared. We get scared sometimes. We don't think, we get scared. She calls it the musical chair mentality. You know, there's only 4 chairs and there's 5 of us, and somebody's not going to get theirs. And you don't want it to be you, right? So let me make sure I get a chair. That's the dumbest game. I mean, what are we teaching our kids when we do that? And then they hurt their ankle or something, or they get on the floor. I'm like, what? It sounds so benign. Musical chairs. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Don't let your kids play musical chairs. It sounds hurtful. It sounds hurtful. I don't know. Right? But that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. No, I got to get mine first. Not enough. Let me take care of me and mine. We think that's chivalrous, and that's what we should be doing. Take care of mine, and that's all right. That is the mentality of not enough. Because if there was enough, you wouldn't be worried about just you and yours. You know, some people want to know, were there any SNAP recipients at Soul Center? I said, yeah, there probably are, but why are we even thinking about just here? That's not good enough. Good enough, that's not good enough. That's not where I want my soul to be. That's not where I want to come from. It's everybody. It's not just here. It's not just us. If we're okay, then everything's okay. Not. That's a lack mentality. That is the consciousness of not enough. All right? I just want you to notice that. Not to judge it, but to notice that. Because could it be that there's enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could we live our life as if there is enough? That is the aligning with the soul. Myth number 2. More is better. More is better. You know, more is better. I mean, we know that that's not the truth, but we don't act that way. You know, when we are talking about more is better, we're after the next biggest, best, bodacious thing. And we take ourselves out of the moment. We take ourselves away from the gratitude that we could experience by accepting and being gracious about what's right in front of us. That's what that does. More is better. It takes us out of that. It takes us out of that. The next best thing. Renee asks me sometimes if I want a new car. I'm like, no. I don't want a new car. My car is good. Like, I don't want to pay the extra taxes. I don't want to worry about somebody hitting into me with my brand new car. I don't want that. This is good. More is not better for me. Maybe I need some new tires, but I don't want a new car. Like, that's a conscious choice. And it doesn't mean if you want a new car, you're bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying more is better mentality, taking me out of the place of gratitude for what I do have. That's what more is better is about. Let me read you this about that. She says, do we really need to possess more than the other person or company or nation? More oil, more land, more military might, more profits, more market share, more stock, more possessions, more power, more money. Do we really need that? Do we really even need and want all the clothing and cars and groceries and gadgets that we bring home from our shopping trips? Or are we acting on impulse, responding to the call of the consumer culture and the steady, calculated seduction of fashion, food, and consumer product advertising? Really? Does a 5-year-old need more than a few thoughtfully chosen birthday presents to feel celebrated? And yet, what are we teaching them when we overload them with more than they could possibly need? Whose interests are we really serving when we give children far more than they need or even appreciate at one time? See, this is what we're teaching with our actions, that more is better. No. I think we all can agree, maybe from the onset, more is not better. Enough is good. More is not better. More is not better. That's the second myth. It's a lie. More being better is a lie. That's what I think. Just like scarcity is a lie. More is better is a lie. The third myth is that's just the way it is. I think this is the most toxic and dangerous and disgusting myth that we have, because it takes everything out. It takes the air totally out of us. It tells us that we have to accept things the way they are, and it makes us feel helpless and hopeless, as if there is nothing we can do about it. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true at all. It gives us we're able to just throw in the towel. We just throw in, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. No, I don't believe that. It's just the way, it's toxic. There is potential, I believe, in every circumstance. I mean, what do you believe? You have to decide that. It traps us. It traps us in helplessness and hopelessness, believing that that's just the way it is. It's another lie. It's another lie. Its scarcity is a lie. So these three myths. There's not enough money. What was the second one?
Not enough time.
No.
More is better.
More is better. And that's just the way it is. Right? Those three things. So what I want to ask you to do is, as you go about your life this week, just notice. Don't judge yourself and don't be like, oh my God, she caught me again, this kind of thing. Just notice, notice your life. Because what I want to do next week is go on to the next chapter, because this isn't the end, this is just the noticing piece. The noticing piece of how we have been trained, and we've trained ourselves in scarcity. We've trained ourselves that there's not enough. We've trained ourselves that more and more and more is better. And we've trained ourselves that that's just the way it is. We've trained ourselves. And if we can train ourselves to do that, we can train ourselves in a different direction. I know that's the truth. I know that's the truth. Because like I said at the beginning, money is just a made-up thing. It's just a made-up thing. And so if we can make different agreements with ourselves, we can actually transform and be transformed in our spiritual life around these principles. Are you with me? So this week, just notice. That's all. Just notice and be curious. Like, oh yeah. Be curious, not judgmental. All right? So let's have a short meditation this morning. Take a deep breath. Get comfortable in your seat. All this talk about money is really a talk to help us unveil the power and the duty and the fulfillment that comes from a life that's lived from the soul as it relates to money. To heal ourselves from these toxic beliefs, these life sentences that we didn't choose, but that were laid over us and we chose then to believe. Permeates all of humanity. But it doesn't have to be that way. Let me just notice that thread of scarcity in my life. Let me notice it without judgment. Let me be curious about it. Let me be honest with myself. And let me be open to another possibility. Let's just sit for a few moments together. You know, I think Jared's song, his last verse, gave us the path, gave us the goal, gave us the possibility, which is that in the midst of this there can be joy. In the midst of this there is incredible happiness. There is incredible possibility. To live from the soul of me. That's what I want. To live that life. This one life that I have this time around. To live it fulfilled. To live it according to my values, my core values. To know that there is always enough. Always. And so it is. Amen. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy. And happy birthday, November birthday.